The distress beacon had been pinging for 6 hours before Mara Ellison found him. She had been 3 kilometers deep into the Vrithian jungle, a place the Coalition's field manual described as moderately survivable for non-native species, which was bureaucratic shorthand for "you will probably die, but not immediately," when her wrist scanner lit up with the signal. Small. Weak. Close to the ground. She changed direction without a second thought. The cat cub was wedged between 2 roots of a silverwood tree, his fur matted dark with mud and something that smelled like copper. Mara crouched beside him and took stock before she touched anything. That was Rule 1 of wilderness medicine: assess before you act, because the wrong move could kill a patient faster than the injury itself. His name, she would learn later, was Kale Vera. 11 years old by Vrithian reckoning. Son of a Coalition cartographer team that had been separated from him during a flash storm 2 days prior. He was conscious, just barely, and his amber eyes tracked her with an expression that was equal parts terror and desperate hope. His left rear leg was broken. Not fractured. Not cracked. Broken. The lower bone had snapped clean and the limb hung at an angle that made Mara's jaw tighten. She had seen worse. She had fixed worse. But Kale hissed the moment her fingers hovered near it, and she pulled back immediately, hands raised. "Easy," she said. Her translator implant converted it into the low, resonant Vrithian tone cluster that meant calm, no threat. "I see you. I know it hurts. I'm going to help you. But I need you to trust me for about 10 minutes. Kale's ears, as large, tufted, currently pinned flat, rotated slightly forward. Not fully. But enough. Mara unslung her pack. What came out of that pack would later be described in the official Coalition medical review as unorthodox materials deployed with alarming confidence. The report was not wrong. Mara laid out her supplies with the methodical efficiency of someone who had done field medicine in places where the nearest hospital was a 2-day hike and a prayer: a folding knife, 2 straight branches she snapped from a nearby deadfall, a folded square of thermal fabric, a packet of topical numbing paste rated for humans but cross-checked on her scanner for Vrithian compatibility, and a thick gray roll that Kale stared at with evident confusion. "Duct tape," Mara said, catching his gaze. "Old human technology. Holds the universe together." She was only slightly joking. The numbing paste went on first, applied carefully around the break site, giving it 60 seconds to absorb while she fashioned the splint. The 2 branches were stripped of bark with 3 quick passes of her knife. She patted them with the thermal fabric, tearing it into even strips with her teeth because scissors were somewhere at the bottom of the bag and time was a factor. "This is going to feel strange," she told Kale. "I'm going to set the bone before I splint it. It will hurt. Less than it hurts now, but it will hurt. Do you understand?" The cub's ear flickered. A Vrithian nod. "Good. Hold on to this." She pressed a thick root into his small hands. "Squeeze as hard as you want." He squeezed so hard the root cracked. Mara set the bone in one smooth, controlled motion, the technique her survival instructor had called "commit or don't bother," and Kale made a sound that wasn't quite a scream and wasn't quite a growl, a strangled keen that sent birds scattering from the canopy above them. His whole body tensed. His claws sank into the dirt. Then it was over. Mara was already working. Branches along both sides of the leg, aligned precisely. Thermal fabric wound between them for padding. And then the duct tape, gray, inelegant, absolutely miraculous, wrapped in overlapping layers from below the knee joint to above it, firm and even, each strip pressed flat to prevent pressure points. She worked quickly but without rushing. Haste caused mistakes. Mistakes caused complications. Complications, out here, caused deaths. "Almost done," she murmured, not because Kale needed the update, but because silence during medical procedures had always felt wrong to her. People healed better when they felt witnessed. She believed that. "You're doing great. Seriously. I've set bones on humans twice your size who cried the whole time. Kale made a small, indignant sound. That wasn't an insult, Mara said, almost smiling. Crying is fine. Crying means you're still in there. She secured the final strip, tested the splint with careful pressure, stable, immobilizing both joints as intended, and sat back on her heels to evaluate her work. It wasn't pretty. It was gray tape and sticks and improvised padding in the middle of an alien jungle. But it was solid. It would hold. Can you put weight on it? She asked. Kale tried. Tentatively. His ears went forward. He looked at his own leg with an expression of profound suspicion, as though it had betrayed him by working. Not much, Mara said. I'll carry you. She carried him 4 kilometers back to the coalition outpost. He was heavier than he looked, Vrithian bone density was notably higher than human, and the terrain was uncooperative, all roots and mud and narrow switchbacks. Kale rode with his arms around her neck and his injured leg held carefully outward, and he was very quiet for a long time. Then, about halfway through, he said something. Her translator rendered it as, "Why does it stay?" The tape? Mara asked. His ear dipped. Yes. What is it made of? Honestly? She navigated around a root cluster. I've never looked it up. It's a fabric mesh with an adhesive backing. Humans have been using it for about 300 years. We've taken it to space. We've used it to repair spacecraft, seal wounds, patch shelters, fix boots, hold broken bones. She paused. There's an old saying. The universe has 2 things, things that don't move that should, and things that move that shouldn't. Duct tape solves the second problem. Lubricant solves the first. Kale was quiet again. Then, humans are very strange. We really are, Mara agreed. The coalition medical team met her at the outpost perimeter. 3 Vrithian doctors and a human trauma consultant named Dr. Osei, who took one look at Kale's leg and went very still in the way medical professionals go still when they are cataloging something unexpected. Who set this? Dr. Osei asked. I did, Mara said. He crouched down. Examined the alignment. Pressed carefully along the splint. Kale, who had decided somewhere in the jungle that Mara was trustworthy and therefore her associates were also provisionally acceptable, allowed the examination with only mild ear flattening. What's the splinting material? Thermal fabric and sticks. The binding is duct tape. The Vrithian doctors exchanged a look that Mara could not read. Dr. Osei stood up. He had the expression of a man recalibrating something. The alignment is good, he said finally. Better than good. How long has he been mobile? About 40 minutes. Limited weight bearing. Right. He turned to the Vrithian doctors and spoke a rapid phrase in their language that her implant caught at half speed. She parsed it as something like, the fracture site is stable, the splint is immobilizing correctly, I need an X-ray but I think she may have actually fixed it. One of the Vrithian doctors, older, grey-muzzled, with the careful eyes of someone who had seen a great many things, walked slowly around Kale. She examined the leg from every angle. She pressed one careful finger along the tape and said nothing for a very long time. Then she looked at Mara. Your method, the doctor said, through her own translator. It is brutal. I know, Mara said. And effective. Yes. The doctor's ears moved in a way that the implant flagged as unclassified expression, possibly approval. We do not use adhesive binding in emergency orthopedics. The tension distribution concerns us. The material concerns us. A pause. And yet the cub walked. 40 minutes, Mara said. Limited weight bearing. Yes. The doctor looked at the duct tape again. You will send me the material specifications. It wasn't a question. I'll send you a case of it, Mara said. Kale Vera's parents arrived 6 hours later, frantic and mud-covered from their own 2-day ordeal in the storm's aftermath. His mother gathered him against her chest and his father stood very still and breathed through his nose for a long time in the way people do when they are not ready to speak yet. Kale, wrapped in a thermal blanket with his splinted leg extended, pointed at Mara across the room. "She fixed me," he said. "With gray tape." His mother looked at Mara. Her expression was the same in every species, in every language, on every planet Mara had ever worked. It needed no translation. Mara lifted one shoulder. "It holds the universe together," she said. The Coalition Medical Review, published 4 months later, listed the incident under Field Improvisation, Notable Cases. The summary read, "Emergency splinting performed by human survival expert Mara Ellison using non-medical materials. Fracture alignment, excellent. Patient outcome, full recovery. Methods described by attending Vrithian physicians as brutal, effective, and worthy of further study." In the margin of her personal copy, Mara wrote one word. "Obviously."